was so fast.
That was so fast. Oh, almost on time, too.
Yes.
Buenos dias.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy no school day.
I mean, it's a bit early in the season here to not have school, but the kids are very excited. Our second full day. Nope. We're just going to stay home. Amazingly, we found a location with power. The only place maybe in all of Clarkston.
Oh my gosh, it's my house.
It's Katie's house. Good morning, everybody. If anybody's even awake, this is a fun day to sleep in if you are able to. And your kids are all probably sleeping in, is what I'm guessing. At least ours are.
Yes.
But today we have a really fun morning. And before we join or have our guests join, we were going to talk about something.
What were we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the movie premiere or not? Are we doing that?
So we have a lineup today, and we're going to see who's able to join us and who isn't, because the power and Wi-Fi and all that stuff is factoring into it. But first, we're going to hear from Clothed Boutique and Angela Pena, who, if I can see you guys have joined in. If you can request to join us, we'll get you pulled in. And then hopefully once we hear all the details about that, then Sarah Holden is going to join us and talk about her upcoming movie premiere. So Sarah was on our podcast. I don't know when that was, but before she started filming her independent film on Dixie Lake, I believe. So now the movie's out, and they're going to do a premiere at MJR. Good morning.
Morning.
You guys hear us? You can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi. And let's see. So I know Angela. I saw her request to join, and now I don't see it. So if you guys, first, good morning. Sorry. But if you guys want to give us a little info about Clothed Boutique and who you are and all the details, and then Angela, if you see a way to maybe unrequest and then re-request, we'll pull you in that way.
Want to start? Go ahead. All right, so we started almost 4 years ago, so November will be 4 years. It was, I say it's our COVID baby. I was in college, and she was just like, oh, if you could do anything, what would you want to do? And I said, I want to own a boutique. So we started it not long after that. It really was just like coming up with the name that took us the longest. And then we launched November of 2020. And we knew we wanted our name to be based off like the Bible verse. We knew we wanted to give back to charity. So our whole mission is to clothe and to give. So we give a portion of our sales back to charities, whether in the community or throughout the nation, kind of different times throughout the year. We switch it up, you know, depending on what's going on. So.
Well, and just to add to that, maybe back up a minute. If you can't tell or don't know, we are a mother-daughter. So we co-own the boutique. And yeah, she was home from COVID. We're seeing people. I'm also a life coach. I'm like, if you could do anything, what would you do? You know, so that it became born out of that conversation. And if you don't know the Bible verse, it's she was clothed with strength and dignity and laughs without fear of the future. So that's always been a one dear to my heart, and I think hers too. So we're just like, well, what about clothed? It makes sense, right? So that's where that comes from. And, you know, we really find we like being the mother-daughter because, you know, her age group has a certain fashion style, maybe, and then ours has a certain fashion style. We kind of try and join those a little bit, but we also, when we're curating our collection, it's like, well, I think we call them your people, my people. But we're like, well, your people might wear that, my people might wear that. So we try and just have a nice variety and just keeping on trend, you know, all of that.
Yeah, I'll say that was this, I guess, kind of a good transition into Angela coming on. But one of our things too is we wanted all women to feel beautiful and confident in our clothes. And even when we first went to market to look for clothes, we were like, you know what, let's just look at the curvy pieces that these vendors are selling. And we just realized it wasn't a lot. We didn't love it. And we just had to kind of figure out our style and what we wanted to bring on first.
Yeah.
But we always knew we wanted to bring on curvy collection,
Yeah, that was our one of our goals from the very beginning is let's get set in our style, our vendors, and then let's, start looking at the Curvy collection.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure the vendors we were buying from were good quality because we wanted affordable clothes, but we wanted that good quality. And then when we met Angela, we were just like, okay, well, this is perfect. Help us out because obviously we can't do this ourselves. Like we know what we would wear, but
right.
That's all we know.
And what's nice is, she's bought a few things from us before. And she'll say, oh, I love this, that style wise. And so we knew that our styles were going to be able to mesh. And that was really important too. Like we didn't want to bring on, because a lot of our customers come in and say, hey, I love this, but can you get it in a curvy, size? Can you get it in that extended size? So we wanted to make sure that we were satisfying those requests as well. And with curating this collection with Angela, we've determined that yes, our styles are.
We can let her come on.
Yeah, and she can come on if she's in
if
that.
she's ready.
We're working on it. We're
Okay.
working on
She is requesting.
Okay.
We just don't see a way to pull her in. So this is the first time that we've tried to do 2 separate accounts at once.
Okay.
So if we don't figure out a way to let her in, we'll just chat with you guys and then we'll chat with her right after.
Okay.
How did you figure out where to source all of your clothing? Like, did you just know, were you into the fashion industry before, or how did you?
Really?
No, I mean, for me personally, I just followed so many boutiques. I just loved following it, and not just for the cute clothes. Like I loved seeing when they would go to these markets and stuff. So then I was kind of looked into a little bit more, and I was like, okay, where are they going? Figured it out, looked it up, and
yeah. So there's markets 4 times a year, basically. Season changes, obviously. And so we go to the markets and our first market was very overwhelming because it's 14 floors of just vendor after vendor.
It's like, okay, figure it out.
And so we were like a deer in headlights. What the heck,
Yeah.
And so we go and we started meeting with different vendors and we started looking at the different styles that they carried and the sizes and things like that, and just kind of worked our way through it.
It's funny because people are always like, that must be so fun. Like, that looks so glamorous. You just get to shop. I'm like, no, because you're shopping for other people and you don't really know what they want. It's not like, hey, I'm going to the mall and I'm picking out a cute shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
Committing to that for other people. You have to buy a certain amount of inventory.
Exactly. I was just going to say, and if it doesn't sell, you're stuck with it. You got to try and get whatever, is not working.
These markets, are they in New York? I mean, is that where you're going?
So we've been they do have one in New York. We haven't been to that one yet. We've been to Atlanta, we've been to Dallas, we've been to Vegas, and we've been to Nashville.
Oh, Nashville and Miami.
And Miami.
They do little pop-up ones in different places.
So yeah.
So we get to, that part's fun. We make a little vacation out of it, but.
That does sound fun. And where do you, I know you have to buy a minimum quantity, so do you have to store it all? Obviously.
My house.
Here.
Your house? Is that what I was going to ask?
Yeah, since we're online, that's where everything's stored. So we have our own little warehousing space in the basement.
Yeah, and then we've turned my bedroom into our little office try-on room.
Yeah.
So, all out of the house.
Right.
Now, I know you guys do pop-ups sometimes, like we were next to at the Women in Business.
Yeah.
I did want to tell you, I just pulled up this picture. This is my kid's first day of school. And Kennedy is wearing the shorts that she insisted on buying at Women in Business.
I love it.
So,
Yay, Kennedy.
no, I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, oh, that's fun. Yeah, no, they're so cute.
One of our young customers.
Yeah,
our young
And I mean, we'll always have a lot are in between our age ranges, which we were talking about with Angela too. That's another perfect thing, is she's right in between us. So it's a good another opinion too, even on our stuff where it's like, oh, I don't know, would you wear this? Would you not?
Right.
But yeah, and then we have those customers that are
80.
A lot younger and a lot older.
Right.
So it's really
it's nice
for everybody.
It's really nice when we see that age range, of people that are buying our stuff. It makes us feel good.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. When you guys do pop-ups, and then you had a physical location for a little bit, right? And
we did. Yeah, we were subleasing a space.
Okay.
And for us, it wasn't like the prime location. And we were starting to extend our line, and we knew we were going to be bringing the Curvy line in, so the space wasn't ideal either. So we just said, well, you know what, we'll back out when, when our lease was up, our sublease was up, and we just said, we'll look, and we've been looking, and I think at the right time, the right thing will come along. We always put our trust in when it's the right time. Yeah. Those things will happen. So, so now we're just back to doing our pop-ups and markets. We're going to be like Art in the Village in September, and we go all over, and we do, in-home parties and anything.
That's fantastic. And so you're a mother-daughter duo, but do you have anybody else helping you out, or is it just we're looking at it? This is you guys are everything.
Team. Yep. Pretty much.
Just you two.
Occasionally, like other family will come help us with little things.
My son and daughter-in-law, but it's pretty much what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So if someone orders something from you, you're packaging it up. Do you guys ship items as well?
Yep.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. So it's us. It's literally us doing all of it.
It is. It's a
lot.
It can be tiring some days.
I can imagine. And how many pop-ups do you do a year typically?
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we have slower months and busier months. Around the holidays, it feels like I feel like now the holidays just get earlier and earlier. So it almost feels like from October through the end of the year, it's like one every week or
sometimes
weekend.
Sometimes two a week. Wow. Especially during November and the beginning of December. A lot of times we'll have 2 a week. So,
and then the rest of the year, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 a month, depending. Some months more, some months less. So we kind of just wait and see too. Like, I mean, we have some that we know we want to do, and then there's some where if people approach us and are like, "Hey, I'm having a grand opening," or "I just want to do this," or anything like that, we try to make it work.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. And so tell us about this upcoming launch and when it is and what to expect and where people can join you.
So we are launching our Curvy collection with Angela. This started really I want to say a year ago. I want to say it was like August or September. Mm-hmm. We had met her not long before that. I don't even remember how we met her, how we started talking, but she came over, we sat down. She kind of told us her story, which I'll let her talk about.
Well, we got her name originally from, I had was talking with Ron Vaughn, and she's like, "You gotta meet Angela. Have you met her?" Yeah. And so we met her.
I think I had been following her too, but just never.
Yeah, and I told her, and she's like, "I know that name," So it was some point after that we met her, and then we invited her over to have the initial conversation. So, and it was I think last August.
Yeah. So because we were like, we've been wanting to launch a Curvy, we just would love to get thoughts, and then literally at the end of the conversation, we're like, "Hey, what if we just do this together? Let's see if we can make it work." And then it was really just a year of kind of talking back and forth and trying to figure out logistics and figuring out when we would launch it and just making sure it was the right time. And she spent a while looking through inventory, and we spent a while looking through stuff just to kind of make sure that we knew vendors we shopped from, so we wanted to see if they had curvy options, and then again just based off of what was trending or our style, and everything just really stuff she picked is stuff we would have picked. So it worked really well. So we're finally launching our collection September 12th with her. We're going to have a launch party at the co-working space in downtown. And it'll be from 5 to 8 that night. So we're going to have, I don't know if you guys know Bubbles and Bash, but she's going to join us.
No, I was going to say I did bring my Main Street co-working today. Since that's where you'll be. And then Bubbles and Bash, we love Ashley. Mm-hmm. So that is great.
Yeah, so she's going to join us. Angela, of course, will have her collection there. She actually has a signature scent too, which, again, I'll let her talk about, but she's going to have that there. We also have a charm bar that we launched the beginning of summer where you can create custom necklaces, bracelets, so we're going to have that.
For our fall collection as well, we'll be there. And then, we'll have a bouquet bar. So Barefoot Blossoms is going to have, we're going to have her flowers there. So we're going to let everybody just make their own bouquet. And then, a little bit of snacks, and we're going to talk a little bit and share stories and how this came about, just like we're doing now. It's just going to be a little bit shorter version that night. But.
And like I said, our big mission is to clothe and to give. So we're going to give a portion of sales to, it's called the Body Positive, which is just basically a body positive relativity charity. So we're going to donate a portion of sales that night because I know it's very important to Angela too. Another reason why we knew we'd be a good fit is she's very passionate about charities and giving back and everything like that. Yeah. So, and then the collection will launch online on our website that night at 8. So people, they can't make it, or if they're out of state, anything like that, they can shop it that night.
And just so you know, the event is free. However, we're just asking people to go to Eventbrite and buy a ticket so that we know how many people we can plan for food and drink and stuff like that. So just to help us out with numbers.
Yeah.
We did just link it on our website this morning too. So it's your flyer, and then if you just click on it, it takes you right to that Eventbrite.
Correct.
Where you can just grab your free ticket, just like they said, so they can plan for it. So connectingclarkston.com, we've linked that, and I'm sure it's probably available on all your socials and everywhere.
We're blasting it out everywhere.
Yeah. Perfect.
And it'll be on our app as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have it on our app as well. Tell me the times again. When does it begin?
5.
5.
5 to 8.
5 to 8. So 5 to 8, you can show up at the Main Street Co-working and take a look and buy some items. And then after 8 o'clock, then you can buy online. But it's kind of like you get the first peek if you show up in person. Okay.
Yeah, so if you're in person, you get the first peek. And I mean, it's not like you have to be there 5 to 8. It's, definitely come and go whenever you want. So,
Yeah. Fantastic. And I know we did this backwards because when I emailed you guys when we were chatting about what we were going to talk about, usually we say, oh, what's your connection to Clarkston? Usually we start with that, but this morning was
yes.
This morning was a little backwards.
So we actually moved here to Clarkston. Almost pretty much
a
about
month
the
after
time
we launched
the business.
Wow.
It was kind of a crazy time.
It's usually how it works out.
Yeah. Then had COVID on top of it.
Geez.
But so we moved here to Clarkston. It'll be pretty much 4 years ago. And just have loved the community. We came from Grand Blanc. She grew up in Grand Blanc and moved down here. And I just have loved being here. I've always loved coming to Clarkston. And when I was looking for a home, she was like, well, have you ever checked out Clarkston? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to check that out. And it was great. It was just, everything was fortuitous. And the first house I looked at was the house we moved into.
Wow.
So now we've just been making a lot of new friends and, a lot of new connections, and it's been wonderful.
Nice. So. That's fantastic. Well, welcome. I mean, a little late, but 4 years later. And I feel like Clarkston is a good place to, I feel like we foster a lot of creativity and entrepreneurship, just like what Brandon does at Main Street Co-working. I think he's such a good partner too. So we're happy you're here, and thanks for sharing your story. And we are going to probably, even though this isn't exactly how we plan to do it, we probably will bring Angela in separately, because I guess we didn't know. I was picturing in COVID, during the Zoom days of COVID, we had 25
people on our screen.
Yeah. Well, I Googled it because that's how you figure out, how to do all things. And it said you can have up to 4 accounts, which maybe you can, but I cannot figure it out. To the point where I was almost going to be like, Ian, you just do it from your house. I'll do it from mine. Well, I'm glad we did not do that because...
We have the same issue. I swear, it's Instagram Live. Anything Instagram I can figure out, but I never go live. So then, and you can't really test it. So we were here with Angela the other day trying to do it, and we made a close friends group, tested it, just the 3 of us. I swear it's
not a
lot of an adventure
too. So,
but
yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys kind of going on this journey this morning with us in technology. And it's been really great to meet you both and hear about your clothing line. Hopefully we'll be able to pop in
on the 12th. Yeah. Tell us one more time the date, time, and location.
September 12th from 5 to 8 at the co-working space in downtown Clarkston.
Okay. And who all will be there with you? Again, Bubbles and Bash.
Right, and we'll have, we're going to have the flower bar with flowers from Barefoot Blossom, and then Angela and us.
Really just,
Your clothes and the charm
bar. Yep.
Angela's new collection, and then her signature scent that she has.
Right.
Awesome.
Just because I can't remember anything, what was the charity you guys are, or what charity did you pick this time?
Oh, the body positive. Wow, I can't talk.
The body positive.
The body positive. Okay, I'm gonna
It
check
is
that
linked
out.
on that Eventbrite, so you can find more information. And like I said, we're donating a portion of sales that night, but we're also encouraging people too, if they want to donate, we'll have like a little jar or Venmo or something.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I love the mother-daughter duo, you guys. I love that.
Yes. And Angela just linked, she just posted to Barefoot Blossom Farm on this little message stream too. So
Awesome.
perfect.
We'll check them out too.
Yes.
Well, good.
So if you guys see a way to like disconnect on your end, then I think we'll pull Angela in and hear everything she has to share about this too.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
Thank you, ladies. Have a good morning.
Bye.
Take care.
Oh, look at that.
Well, let's see if we can figure this out.
All right. Angela, if you can request to join again
Sorry about
for the
that.
third time.
Sorry.
Gosh.
What is
Going just as planned.
This is planned, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm just impressed you have power. This
Oh my
is
gosh. Ooh, okay, go live.
There we go.
Work.
That's gonna work. Sure it is.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. Angela, I think you're there.
Hi.
Oh my goodness.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for being patient.
Yes.
Oh, no problem.
So
Uh,
sorry about that.
it's perfectly fine. Just like Lily mentioned, we had to do a trial of our own. And the way that, thank goodness for her, that we were able to make it happen is she did that close friend group and then we could all join. So it was something she had to do prior to us starting the actual live. So just for future reference, or
Yeah.
like I do, ask Lily. I don't know.
Oh my
That
gosh.
should be its own button. Ask
Yeah.
Yes.
Phone a friend.
It goes back to what they said. Not only were we intentional about having a curvy or plus size line, we also love the fact that there's 3 age demographic, or really generations, excuse me. And Lily being her age, she knows technology a little bit better than me. So I'm grateful.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Well, they were saying a lot of great things about how your partnership came about, and it just seems like a match made in heaven there with you guys.
So I think we actually talked to you about this. So I know they had mentioned connecting with you through Rondavon, which it was the salad in a jar event that we went to, and I'm like, you're Angela, because
That's right.
we were following you also and thinking that we would love to connect with you at some point. So then this all just came full circle.
Yeah.
So we're super happy about that.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say I'm super excited to be here. I have followed you as well. I was just watching, I watch most of the podcasts, or I watch later once they're emailed to me, the different lives. And I was watching just recently the podcast with Ally Challenge because I was going to it and it just helped me with some information. I had no idea about shuttling from Grand Blanc High School. So I love everything that you guys are doing. I love the connectivity. And one second, I keep seeing how it's blurring. Is that?
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
I have this trusty dusty on top, but it was covering a portion of the actual camera.
I thought it was like a filter, like keep it mysterious.
Yeah.
No, if there were, I'm sure I could figure out a filter, but no, this is just me with a ring light behind me and me trying to use new technology, but cover the camera.
What? We're good up on technology today. It is
Yeah.
not. Yes.
We're just impressed. All 3 of us currently have power. We're here. It's all good.
Right.
So tell us about your line and when you began and how it all happened for you and what you're up to.
Yeah, so if you end up coming to the event, I apologize because I'll share this again. It might be a little bit redundant, but it is important to me and kind of how I started. I share in my stories when I ramble on is the way that I look at it. I have worked in social work specifically with the disabled population for 15 years. So I have been with an agency for 15 years, right out of college. I am now a director with that agency. And the reason I share that is from the very get-go, being inclusive is very important to me. It's part of a core value. And so I had been walking that walk when it came to my professional life, but when it came to a personal side, I found that through weight fluctuation, because bodies change and that's okay. At the time, I really was not fully living that life in the personal aspect of, meaning I was basically attaching my size to my worth. And I would, maybe I'm very social, but I would find it difficult at times to be social, because if you have a group of individuals and we're all different sizes, society and all those silly things that are attached to what we look like would cause me some anxiety. And I found myself withdrawing a little bit from things until I had a wake-up call. And I don't know if my wake-up call was my 30s compared to my 20s. And I will preface, I'm now in my late 30s, but at the time I was following influencers that were my similar size, and it made sense to me. It made sense because although you can look at a model wearing an outfit, that model doesn't look like me. So I started following influencers my size, and then I started to think, well, I should say this too. I was following influencers my size. I was shopping boutique. So boutique is kind of, again, full circle with shop clothes. I bought boutique a lot. I was typically purchasing though from online, because locally, although we have amazing boutiques locally, shop clothes and many others that I frequent, oftentimes I couldn't find an option that would fit me unless it was like an oversized option or accessories, because I'm definitely an earring and accessory girl as well. But for the most part, I wasn't able to find like full outfits or, you know, things that I wanted. So I would shop online. With that being said, I loved boutiques because I love to shop your normal stores, and I still do to this day. Target, Amazon, all the things. But then I love to have that signature piece that most likely someone in the office or, you know, out in the community isn't going to have that same, you know, blazer or whatever that I was rocking at the time. So for me, it was boutique shopping. It was following influencers my same size because it just made sense for me. And then kind of coming to fruition, like, hey, I can do this. Like, I would be out and about, and I've always liked style and putting together outfits forever, like as long as I can remember. And I would have individuals at work, family members, friends, like, that's so cute, you always look so cute. And it's part of my creativity, it's part of who I am, like putting together an outfit. So I was like, I'm just gonna try this. And for those that use this word much more often, and I probably only learned it, I don't know, 3 years ago, it was a little bit cringe. Like, I'm just putting myself out there as the size 16 individual, showing what I'm wearing to the office or for a weekend, whatever it was. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, people liked it, and I was gaining more followers. I was connecting with individuals, and it just kind of, here we are now 2 years later. So I just celebrated my 2 years doing the influencing, or sharing content is really what it is, or sharing a little bit of my life. But I even was hacked, like, I want to say a year or less, and I was at 10,000 followers, and I was hacked, and I had to start all over again.
I did want to ask you about that, because when we ran into you at the Social Oak event, we had talked about that. So I know it's like off subject, but I'm like, clearly we're on Instagram. Everybody here has Instagram. A lot of these people are probably interested in what you're doing and growing this following. So, tiny little sidebar. Do you have any advice for people, since you've gone through that whole hacking, restarting your account? What's the advice you would give people to avoid that?
Dual factor. I did not have the 2-factor in place. But also, if you pay to have the verification, then typically you'll receive additional assistance from Meta if something does happen. So not having any kind of technology background, that's the basic information I can share. But
That's perfect.
at the very beginning, yeah. So my, to this day, you probably could find it. My photos are somewhere trying to sell Bitcoin. It's great for
Oh
me.
my gosh. I mean, just from that, I will totally pay for the verification, which I had not considered that before, but that's a great tip.
Yes.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
back to where you were. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, starting over was difficult, but also it was kind of one of those like make it or break it. I remember thinking to myself, like, I can't do this again. Like, I don't want to start all over again, but it happens to go with my story. In the meantime, when those things were happening, I was growing a following. I had new partnerships. So if you guys don't know, I have a lot of brands that reach out to me, ask me to share their items. Some of those I do what's called UGC, user generated content. I hold an item or I wear an item and I send it directly to them. It's never posted on on my socials. I also then do a ton of reels that you guys will see on my page currently on Styles Curves. But while it was growing, the hack happened. I was going back and forth if this was something I wanted to start all over. And I have a daughter. I share her on my stories sometimes. She is 6 years old. Her birthday is next week. She'll be 7. And I joke, and you'll hear me sometimes talk about it in my stories. I have a very 90s mirror closet, like the closet with the mirrors. It's very 90s to me. That's all I can think of. And that's typically where I talk in my stories. And I also would find myself getting dressed, walk out there. It's close to leaving to my, kitchen and then out the side door. And I essentially would have an outfit on, probably tear myself apart, not like what I looked at or what I look like in the mirror, go back and change it. So I had bought, and I'm definitely going to give them a shout out because I support local by all over the place. I had bought a bikini, a little kid's bikini for my daughter at Serenity Grace boutique. So they're obviously in Davisburg, and then they do a lot of pop-ups and in local stores in Clarkston. So I bought the bikini. My daughter, by the way, not that it really matters, but just to give you a little bit of insight, she is petite. She is not curvy. She is not chunky. She is not whatever anybody categorizes it. And so she came out in that bikini and walked to that same mirror that I was in every day. And she pushed out her stomach and she said, "Mom, my belly," 4 years old, by the way. She said, "Mom, I can't wear this." I was like, "What do you mean? It's so cute." Like, I purposely picked her out the leopard, cute, adorable bikini. And she said, "No, my belly's so big." And I was like, "Oh no." And right then and there, I was like, I'm going hardcore into this because I want her to realize that her body or the image that's associated with society and whatever they're at has nothing to do with her worth or what she brings to the table. It's about her heart. And that's really my story. And I try to live that every day. I, of course, have bad body image days, but I try to show up and show up for my daughter. I am, like I said, very active. I will preface with, I'm honest. I'm not a Clarkston resident. I'm right on the border. But when we bought this
We're
house,
fine.
no, well, I just always want to, be truthful. So when we bought this house, though, 10 years ago, my connection to Clarkston was, oh,
Sorry.
yes, my connection to Clarkston was the fact that I had lived, if people know, like Four Corners, Commerce, White Lake, that's what they call it over there. I had lived there, and this was prior, at the beginning of marriage, but prior to marriage and all of that, in that area. And I grew up in Highland and Milford area. And so going to downtown Milford is my upbringing. I hung out in Milford at the time. Then when I had my house in the Four Corners area, I always was downtown Milford. And so I love a downtown. So when we bought this house now 10 years ago, I intentionally did that, or with purpose, close to Clarkston, knowing it was a downtown, knowing that at the time I was starting to frequent those restaurants and establishments. And so I'm very close. I spend a lot of time supporting local. My eyebrow lady, shout out to Michelle at Revive. Dr. Rhonda, which she mentioned earlier, is how Christy and I connected. She's a chiropractor for our whole family. So those things are something near and dear to me. But although I was frequenting these locations and shopping and whatnot, I didn't find a lot of clothing that I, could kind of fit into. So that's where this awesome collaboration kind of came to fruition with Christi and Lily. They're so kind, and I love the fact that they shared with me right from the get-go. Like they mentioned in 2020 when they opened the online platform or their website for Shop Clothes, they wanted to carry extended sizing. And what I think individuals may not know, if you're not buying or if you're not a boutique owner, and I only knew this because shopping boutiques a ton, I had worked with a couple boutiques on collaborations, and I did not know initially when you purchase, you have to buy a different pack for straight size versus plus sizes, okay? Or curvy, or, everyone uses different terminology. But if you're doing anything past typically a large or extra large, you have a separate pack that you're buying. And so when I say I understand it, of course I do. It's additional purchase, it's additional budgeting for all of that, but they had told me right from the get-go that was something they wanted to do, and so it made sense. And then like they mentioned, we have similar aesthetic or style, and although my style, I will be honest, is all over the place. Sometimes it depends, like, on the day. But we like they mentioned, about a year ago we met. We've been planning. Curating this collection was super fun for me, and I guess I would call it a passion project for me. I love that there's going to be a local establishment that anybody, basically size 12 and up, can find clothing items that will make them feel good and confident, because when we feel good or we look good, we feel good, and inside, I think that's important. And like I said, it all was intentional after that big moment with my daughter that I'm moving full stream, I guess. I'm just going forward with all this stuff. And every day I have new brands that reach out to me, excuse me. And the only other thing I wanted to talk about here with my kind of background, I talk about moving my body for joy too. Like, if sometimes you'll see some of my reels, I work with a few like athletic clothing companies or athleisure. I spent so many years in the yo-yo diet, if you name a diet, I did it. And I'm not at all saying that dieting is bad or wrong. It's about a healthy lifestyle for me. And I typically try to move my body 2 to 3 times a week. I have ran 5Ks. I jog. And when I say jog, it's slow, guys. I'm not a runner. But walk and jog. I try to attend different workout sessions. I talked about one of them in my stories with Social Oak. Actually, I didn't eat, and I like fainted almost. I didn't faint, but I needed a snack to finish the workout that night because it was outside at the beach with Kate from Senny, and she's awesome too. But anyways, I talk about all those things because it's about the full circle of health for me: mental health, physical health, just feeling good, and promoting that as a mother in my professional life and my personal life. And it all kind of fell into place working with Christi and Lily, because they also live that lifestyle. And this collection is super exciting. I will tell you, this may be one of the items.
Okay.
I think you did post a comment, right, that you've been doing sneak peeks in your stories.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a fun place to keep an eye on.
Keep an eye on my stories. Sometimes, like I mentioned, cringe happens. Just, skip through, tap through. But I joked with producer Rachel. Many of you guys know she's local too, and she's a friend of mine. For a while, I stopped posting on my stories. And then I had followers like, hey, what's going on? And where are you at today? Are you in the office? Are you going to, I'm like, all I do is work, go to restaurants sometimes, take my kid to softball constantly. It's not that exciting, but it's a connection to individuals.
Well, and I'll say this, and this will probably sound cringe. But I mean, from going from 10,000 followers, having your account hacked, and I think when I checked this morning, you're at like 31,000. I mean, I think that that's awesome. And I think that you're having a really positive impact. People obviously like what you're sharing. They like the style, they like the connection. They even like the cringe.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, thank
Well, I think
you.
like your whole story is really inspirational. I think your inclusivity is something everybody can relate with. The vulnerability. I mean, you're just like, here I am. I'm putting this out there, and it's also, I love the women, empowerment too for your daughter and for pairing up with Clothes Boutique. It just feels like, and all the local connections that you're referring to, it just feels like, yeah, I want to support this person and everything they're doing because it's all positive. Like even the cringe stuff, like Katie was saying, people can relate to that. And then even if you're looking for, it doesn't matter what you're shopping for, but especially clothing because it does feel very personal. It feels good to be able to connect with the person who is on the other end. So, I mean, even just sitting here chatting with you, I'm like, oh, I want to support this person. Like, she's awesome. And it
we
feels
do need
good.
to hear about your signature scent.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was something that.
Yes. So I appreciate you saying all of that. And again, like I always mention, shopping local and supporting local is as important to me as some of the big box shops that I obviously showcase on my Instagram. But my signature scent. So again, it was a local event that I connected. Not Clarkston, but it was in Davisburg when we first met, I believe. So I had connected with, her name is Susan. She is amazing. She does not live local to us, but she was at a pop-up event in Davisburg, and she does permanent jewelry and skincare. She's really a jack of all trades. So Susan, if you watch us later, she owns a restaurant, her and her husband, in, I might botch the city, but I think it's past Flint. It's very north, Genesee County. Anyways, if anybody knows Johnny V's, that's their barbecue restaurant, and it's amazing. So they own that. She has a multitude of businesses, and she had connected with me at the time because she was a follower. And so I saw her at this event. She and I talked. I ended up getting a piece of permanent jewelry from her. And she said, hey, I'm rebranding my bottles and my perfume. And, would you be interested in having a signature scent? And I was like, I don't know. That seems a little bit odd. Like, what does that look like?
Yeah.
So her and I met on a few occasions. And I knew, if you guys have heard of this perfume before, I'm just going to be honest. It's Baccarat Rouge, which is a very popular perfume, but it is like $400 a bottle.
Yeah.
I do not spend $400 on perfume, let alone anything besides probably my kids' sports or my car note. So anyways, I was like, I love this scent. Her and I met, and she said, well, let's mix a bunch of notes and see what we, can put together. And when I tell you, there was a lot of bad before we ended up getting that exact, like, good smell. And when we finalized it, I was so nervous to share it with friends. I remember, like, and I'll show you guys, this is the bottle. So it has like my silhouette on it with a hat, and it's called Curvy Sensation.
Oh, nice. Very cute.
Scent, obviously. And then just on the bottom, it says inspired by my my Instagram handle. But anyways, the smell is amazing. At first, though, I was so nervous. I was like, you guys, you don't have to like it. Like, it's fine. And everyone's like, smelt it, loved it. I sold out right away. I had to ask her, can I have more? Can I have more? And even now, I have a very, very good friend that manages establishment locally, and she just texts me. I don't know if it's just like her working and people smelling her. She's always asking, can I get 5 more bottles? Customers want your perfume. And so I don't mean to sound boastful, but it's actually doing really well.
Yeah.
And so I collaborate with Susan on that, and I'll share her information too. She's excellent in the chat. But it just kind of came to fruition. Like I said, it got to the point where we had to have like the coffee beans, and I felt like nauseous because there was so many smells, and you were doing it for a long time, and then it just happened.
Well, now I need to smell it.
I know. God, I wish I could smell
We need
through.
smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision.
Where's Willy Wonka when you need him?
Right.
That was cringe. Sorry.
You obviously are very busy, I'm imagining. Is there a path for you to, I mean, I don't know if you're still working your other job, but is this a potentially full-time gig for you? Like, how does that balance for you?
I can't answer that for right now. I ended up taking an hour off this morning. I'm very fortunate. Like I said, I've been with the agency for 15 years. I have a lot of accrued time off. So, but for those who don't know kind of like the background, I batch create. So typically like on the weekends or maybe, you know, after 5 o'clock, I will do a bunch of different reels that I'll create with deadlines that I have for specific brands. And I'm going to do the same thing with Shop Clothes. Like I'm going to batch create, then I'm going to share those either on my stories or create reels and have that constant connection with Christi and Lily. But it really made sense again, because like you mentioned, I do have a full-time job, and it's what my background is and it's what my degree is. You know, focus. I'm now in administration, so a little bit different than what I, you know, like in field type of work that I originally went to school for. But I don't know. Like I said, I've been there 15 years. I grew up there. I don't plan to leave anytime soon that I'm aware of, but I will continue to try to do all the things and know that I have to give myself grace when it's like pure chaos. And working with the girls is something I'm so excited for. But what I was going to say is the fact that they own the business, having the collaboration, that was perfect. Like if I were to tell you right now that I was opening my own, yeah, I don't think I could do that with also having my 9 to 5 and my daughter's sports schedule and all of that. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So we had them talk about the dates, but we're just gonna say it again.
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, that's important to repeat it. And I've
Yeah.
already forgotten the date. So
Yep. So
remind me.
September 12th from 5 to 8 p.m. We are going to be at the co-working space in downtown Clarkston, Main Street co-working space. We are going to have Bubbles and Bash. Like you mentioned, Ashley is amazing. She's sweet. The few times that I was able to connect with her at supporting local events, I knew right then as we were planning this, like she's who I wanted to have at our event because she's just a sweetheart, and I love the cart and I love champagne. Anyways, and then we're also going to have Barefoot Blossom. So technically, you can correct me later. I believe that's Ortonville is her address, but she has a beautiful flower farm. If you guys have not been, maybe you have. She has so many events out there. I had an opportunity to go out with friends and do a U-pick and put together a bouquet. And so again, I was like, Christi, Lily, and they were on board right away. Let's work with Barefoot. Let's have their flowers for the bouquet bar. So we'll have the bouquet bar. We'll have the champagne cart. We'll also have Lily and Christi's Shop Clothes. They have the charm bar. So that will be there. You can curate and put together a charm bracelet, which is very on trend right now. It's like, I don't know, my early high school years are just back, right? All the things are back. And then we're going to have some light appetizers. We're going to talk a little bit about this story. Like I said, sorry if it's redundant. And then showcase the items. And just a little bit, like I said, this is a sneak peek. This is a part of the workwear set. So I have a pair of trousers that match. It's a navy blue. The material is like amazing. It's so soft. I can't even tell you. It has like almost a satin feel, but it's so soft. Perfect for like transition fall. But I'm going to have workwear set. We're going to have a special occasion dress. We will have athleisure set, which if you go back to my stories, I shared the athleisure set. Yeah, yesterday. And it's great. It feels also really good because it's that scuba material. And then we will have another cute 2-piece lounge set, but that you can mix and match with the jeans, where I don't think Christi and will mind that I'm sharing this. We are working with Risen jeans, and they are really good. Like that was something that was important to me because I have bought jeans at boutiques in the past. Besides, obviously, most people know Judy Blue, and those are great. Outside of that, many times the jeans just did not fit, and especially fit well, or the quality was good, especially for a curvy person. I'm so happy with Risen. Like, I love the denim. So we'll have those. And then I'm just gonna keep the rest a secret. We'll have about 10 to 12 pieces that we'll be able to showcase that night.
All right. Well, people will keep an eye on your stories, and then hopefully see you on September 12th.
Yes.
And no one will complain to hear your story again. It's a fantastic story. People can relate to it. I'm excited about this collaboration and all of the support that you guys do for our community.
Yes, and thanks for joining us this morning.
It was really nice to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Like I said, I was really excited. Been following you guys. Love what you're doing. Even a couple of like the restaurants that I maybe had not been to, watched your podcast or the live, and then went and supported those. So
Awesome.
I love what you guys are doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice speaking with you. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
September 12th.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. No, we don't.
Well, because Sarah.
Oh, did Sarah?
Yes. So I think Sarah is going to pop
has
in.
power.
So if you guys do not know, there is a local stunt woman who lives in Clarkston.
Can we say local badass?
Yes, you can say that.
Okay, we can.
So she was on our podcast a while back, talking about her experience in Hollywood and all these different cool people she has doubled. One of which is Pam Anderson. I'm trying to think. And
Patricia Arquette. I think Kristen Bell.
Yep.
Is that one of them? Yeah. So
she had done an independent film and was getting ready to shoot her second independent film called Mom Life 2. And she did end up filming that, and it is going to release at MJR.
She filmed it right here in Clarkston, which is very cool. It was
Dixie Lake, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Sarah, if you are able to request to join, we'll pull you in. If not, we'll pop off and then.
So it's been a fantastic morning so far. All these local women who are just super inspirational and doing great things. And Sarah's another one of them. It has been a little wonky with the technology and all the power outages and all the issues. So Sarah, if it works, we'd love to chat with you. If not, we'll arrange a different time. But so far, I've just been so impressed with our lineup today. Don't you agree?
Yes.
So you can go get your premiere outfit. Can we talk about this on September 12th? Go to Main Street.
Great transition.
Get your premiere outfit. There's going to be lots of options for lots of people. That is going to be at Main Street Co-working.
Yeah.
And get your outfit, and then get tickets to Sarah's Mom Life 2 movie premiere at MJR. We got to see a sneak peek. When was that? Earlier this summer, the beginning of the summer, which was really great. And it's fun. It's funny. It's death defying. Is that the word?
Hold on. Let's see down here.
Sarah does some crazy stunts. So
I'm just inviting you right now, Sarah.
And if I don't know, like maybe she lost time on it again. Like
Internet's been a thing. Oh, here she is. It is a miracle.
So sorry about all the
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh my gosh. I had to drive around Clarkston to find internet.
Oh my gosh. Where are you parked right now?
How did you find it? Oh my god.
I'm parked in a parking lot somewhere, and I hope I don't get kicked out. I probably shouldn't say where I'm parked.
Are you in Katie's driveway?
Oh my gosh.
Wouldn't that be hilarious? I'm like, hi, I'm here. You didn't know?
Come on in.
Come on in.
It's so funny.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, girls. I loved the live you just did. I was tuning in and watching with my coffee.
Perfect.
Well, I thought it was a great transition. I was waiting for you. I'm like, oh, get your outfit and come to the premiere. Like, these things are meant to be together.
I mean,
Oh my god.
you'll come to the premiere. You're going to look amazing. You can get some pictures on our little red carpet, and then you support me and you support her. It's perfect.
It's all perfect. So, well, we got to have a sneak peek earlier this summer at this amazing new movie. And now we're big time. This is like the official, tell us where it's at.
In the theater.
It is.
That's awesome.
This is kind of exciting for me because I've never had one of my films like on the actual big screen in a theater. So like this is big. This is big for us. For our little team, this is exciting. So we rented out the MJ Theater. It's actually in Waterford because we don't have a theater in Clarkston. Wah, wah.
Real quick though,
We used to.
MJR was the right choice.
Yeah.
MJR is the place you want to go see a movie.
It is.
AMC, not so much.
Well, because the clap mostly.
Yes,
I
and
mean,
the
it's also
seats
very
are better.
comfortable.
So yes, MJR. We will be
I
there. Tell us the
love that
details.
theater. And the manager that I'm working with is fantastic. He's like, I am so happy you contacted me. He goes, I love supporting independent films. So my film, hashtag Mom Life 2, is not the first one that they've like screened before. So he's just really supportive, which is great. You always want people that are like excited for your little, your little project. So it's on September 20th. It starts at 7 o'clock. The movie's only 25 minutes. So like you girls came for our little soft opening, we're still going to do we're going to still screen the first part, which is obviously part 1, but it's only 7 minutes because like I explained in the soft opening, like I love showing people where we came from to where we are now to where we'd like to go. And because there is a difference there. I mean, the first movie we filmed, I had a $6,000 budget that was straight out of my own pocket. And that's when I flipped over the car like a lunatic. That was fun. So anyway, we'll screen that, and then we will screen the second movie, and then we'll do like a little Q&A with some of the actors and some of my crew, and then there's like a little bar lobby area out there, so people don't have to leave right away. You can come out and kind of, if you have more questions or you want to chat with me or any of my team, like then we can have a little cocktail in the lobby and chat some more.
That's super cool. So this has never actually happened to us, but because of how things started today, we may time out in a few minutes.
Okay. So you're giving me 3 minutes. I get it. I appreciate it, girl.
We can pull back in. We can start it back up, but I just want to like make sure to everybody that's here right now, we're getting them all the important information. We can pull you back in and talk for another hour. But I just wanted to make sure we cover all the things right now.
Yes.
And then
That is
Well,
totally fine.
Where can people, while we have these precious moments, where can people get tickets, information, and all that jazz?
Yep. So I've linked it all on my Instagram, and I believe you girls may have also put it in your Instagram. So
it's also in our app and on connectingclarkston.com.
Okay.
Yes. So keep going.
My Instagram is at Sarah Holden Stunts, and Sarah with no H. So you'll see like the movie poster, all the information, and then there'll be a link. So it's only online ticketing. I can't have people come and get tickets the day of. I don't know, it's just the MJR whatever policy. And then that way, at least I know ahead of time how many I sold because we only have 100 tickets. So once we hit 100, I don't believe I can sell anymore. So that's my goal. Obviously, I would love a full theater. So we're about a third of the way there, and I just released the tickets on Friday. So happy with it so far. Hoping to get more people that I've never met because I just love, and also I'm hoping that it goes to like high school students and like kids that are looking to get into the entertainment business because I want to explain to them, hey, I've been doing this a long time. Now I'm, making my own stuff. But I think kids have more opportunities now with just technology to create their own projects and get them out there. So I'd love to be able to talk to like, younger, younger people to help them and inspire them to do and create projects.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
Talk about the stunt that you did, like the big stunt in this.
Well, maybe even the first one.
Yeah,
like both of them.
So the first, like every project, my character Heather, she's a single mom and she's very, very competitive, and she always gets in like these situations with her ex-husband, who happens to be not so, he happens to be, what am I trying to say? He's not sore on the eyes. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Easy on the eyes. She's pretty easy on the eyes.
Yeah. Sore on the eyes.
Thank you. I'm like, well, That doesn't sound right. So in the first one, my character gets in a car chase with her ex, and they're trying to race to a birthday party to deliver a present for the daughter, and I end up flipping a car. And when people watch it, they go, so how did you do that? Like, who was in that car? And I'm like, I was in that car. And they're like, what? I'm like, well, yeah. So it's just interesting. Like, for a stunt person, it's like, well, duh. Like, but when people watch it, they don't realize that, like, there are real people in those. I mean, and I jumped a ramp, and I jumped through. We crashed through a boat, and it was really awesome. We shot that downtown Detroit, so that was interesting. So that was the first big stunt.
Yeah.
And then the big stunt in part two, I don't really want to give it away, but I will say that it involves a lake, which Dixie Lake is where we shot it here in Clarkston because I live there. So I was able to use that whole beautiful setting for my movie, for the location. So yeah, it involves a paramotorist and myself and a lake. How about
Right.
that?
Yes, you'll have to come to MJR, buy your ticket to
You'll have
find
to
out how
come to
that all
MGR
fits
to
together.
see what crazy thing I do. And trust me, all of my neighbors on the lake are like, this girl's nuts.
And they're not wrong.
You're
Yeah.
not wrong, but it's a fun nuts.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to the actual premiere.
Yeah.
And have you been working a lot this summer aside from your personal project?
Yeah, actually, our Hollywood's kind of, it started off pretty slow because we had the strike last year and everything, but we started picking up. I actually doubled Ariana Grande 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was really fun. She's the
Wow.
sweetest. She is so sweet, you guys. And itty bitty, like tiny, tiny, tiny girl. So
Wow.
I got to double her. It was in a music video. And then Chicago PD and Chicago Fire, which those shows I work on a lot. Looking at doing some work with them, hopefully like really soon. I'm kind of waiting on that. And then some local projects. Like there was a couple local Pure Michigan spots I worked on, and I'm working on a Meyer commercial tomorrow.
Oh my
I
gosh.
might be in the background rolling around in my cart or something.
I think you're still in the DTE commercial, aren't
Oh
you?
my god. Yeah.
The gift that keeps on giving.
I don't know if they're still airing that, but can you let me know if
It's
they are? 'Cause
pretty recent that I've seen it. And I don't know if we talked about this when she was on our podcast last time, but she is in the commercial. She comes out. I think you're in like a flannel or plaid shirt of some sort.
yeah, I still have that.
Also, maybe we didn't talk about this either. The Kia commercial.
Oh, the
Oh,
hamster.
the
Yes.
hamster was a hamster. Yes.
That was the gift that kept on
Oh
giving. And I
my
laughed my way
gosh.
all the way to the bank on that one because my whole family was like making fun of me because they're like, oh, yeah, Sarah played a rodent. And I'm like, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
As long as the check clears, I will play a rodent all day
Oh,
long.
for sure. That's awesome.
That is
So
great.
Myers, yes, Meyer.
So Meyer
Okay.
is, and it's like a night shoot tomorrow night.
Ooh,
So that should be fun. I love working locally because it happens very rarely.
Yeah.
You know, our film incentive in Michigan, we had it way back when I doubled. That was one of my biggest jobs when I doubled Michelle Williams on Oz the Great and Powerful.
Okay.
That was when we had the incentive and we had those amazing studios in Pontiac. It was so great. So we're always hoping that that will happen again.
when we were
Right.
walking out of your premiere, one of the people we walked out with was talking about how like that incentive going away was just such a devastating thing to this area.
It was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
Well, people were so excited about it. I mean, it was like, let's bring something, a really cool industry to Michigan and give people opportunities. And then just like the carpet get ripped out from under it. And it was so disappointing. So hopefully, we'll work our way back to that.
I mean, there's always been talks, and I just kind of like, if I see, hopefully it happens, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But Michigan, for filming locations, we have everything. I mean, obviously we have all the seasons.
Yeah.
So, in California, when it's a snow scene, there's like, styrofoam all on the floor, right? Like I've been in it. Like it's so like we have all of those elements naturally here, not to mention we're surrounded by water, with the lakes and everything. So I think it's a beautiful state. And I know Whitmer's very much an advocate for film. She loves it. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, fingers crossed, because those studios that are no longer in Pontiac, when we were filming Oz, we had all the guys come into, they were scouting, what was it? I think Iron Man 3 or something. So, I mean, they were big movies were coming here. And then it just, once they pulled it away from us, it all went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Atlanta
right.
just blew up. And it's been hot ever since. Like, Atlanta's it's so busy there.
Do you spend a lot of time down there?
I actually don't. I primarily work in Los Angeles and Chicago. I doubled Kristen Bell down in Atlanta on something, I forget, but I'm not down there a ton, which is crazy because I'm closer to Atlanta than California.
Yes.
Yeah.
Much closer. So I don't know. You just kind of have your network of people, and mine are in LA and Chicago.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Now, I don't want to reveal too much. I won't say much about Mom Life 2 because we'll see it soon, but is the Mom Life 3 on the horizon? Have we?
We already
Yes.
started.
Okay.
We already started doing our outline. We have a ton of hilarious ideas, and I'm thinking about maybe doing this for the MJR premiere. I know we did it with the one that you girls went to. Is I had little pieces of paper and pencils out and said, hey, now that you've seen part 1 and part 2, like what would you want to see in part 3?
Yeah.
And I love opening that to the audience, because when you're producing the project and when you're playing a role, it's hard to think about like other things. Like it's hard to just be an actual, just regular viewer going, I would love to see Heather and Drew. How did they get married? How did they get divorced? Or, a little bit more backstory on them. So I might do that for the MJR, or maybe just part of the Q&A, and just, hey, does anyone have any ideas for part 3? And so, but yes, there is definitely going to be a part 3. And it's going to be bigger and better. And we're already thinking like explosions and firework for stuff for part 3, because we haven't done any fire stuff.
Fantastic. We'll start thinking.
Yeah.
We'll
Where would
write a
you girls
script.
like to see Heather and
Yeah.
Drew? Like,
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna we'll bring our own script. Soon you're gonna have people like pitching a whole movies to you, and you're gonna be like, I take it all back. I don't want your feedback. Too
yeah,
much.
right. Oh wait, now I've never done this, you girls. So someone just wrote in. Am I allowed to read that? It looks like it's a question.
Good
If it's
question.
appropriate.
Oh my God,
let's
my
hear it.
friend Jay. It's more fun at MJR. Hi,
Oh
Jay.
yeah. He is
I
not
love you,
wrong.
bud.
He is
So
not
someone
wrong.
said, not sure if you touched on this, but any advice for people who want to do stunts in Michigan? Is it possible, or do you have to spend time somewhere else? Okay, so I get this question all the time, and I really wish I had a better answer. But also there could be a market for this, because Jay, my friend Jay, who's just in here now, we've kind of talked about like maybe we could do some kind of, weekend seminars, or because we have loads and years of experience. But to answer your question, because we were just kind of touching on the fact that we don't have an incentive, there really isn't a lot of opportunities here for filming, right? So I always tell people, if you want to get into stunts, really hone in on what were the sports that you did growing up, right? Because really, stunts is about coordination and taking direction. So if you're coordinated and athletic just naturally, and you've got a director going, all right, I need you to run really fast and then fall here, and then you do it, and they're like, you know what? I need you to wait a couple beats, run a little bit slower, and then fall here and hit this mark. These seem like little things. And for you girls, you might be like, I could never do that. I don't know. Maybe you could.
No.
Never. Okay.
No.
Katie's like, I could never do it.
Katie's
But
up.
if you're naturally athletic and you were in sports, for me, that's easy. Oh, okay. 3 beats, fall here, go slower, done. You want me to split the speed? Okay, done. That's easy stuff. So anyway, I went on a tangent, but hone in on whatever skills, what sports you're doing. Maybe start doing some gymnastic stuff if you haven't, some martial arts, some stage combat. But to start off in Michigan is going to be tough. Chicago's a great market to start. Atlanta, like we talked about. Those are all great markets. I can, Mr. Hunter, if you come to the premiere, I'm happy to talk to you more about this if you're really interested, and you can kind of give me some of your background and what you like to do, and we can kind of go from there. But
Well, I think too, like Katie Shea, right? She ended up guest appearing in your film.
yes, I just got
So,
her an agent too.
oh, you did.
I
I mean, I feel like
did.
you're a good person to be connected to,
For
and so
sure.
if people are interested, yes, buy a ticket, go talk to Sarah. That's your
Yep.
starting
So
point.
Yeah.
a great point on Katie Shea. So and actually her mom, because you hooked us up, Katie.
Yes.
You
Yes.
are
Today,
connecting
well, we
Clarkston.
connected you.
Yeah.
So,
You're
yeah.
connecting Clarkston. So I had a mom who was on Connecting Clarkston, and her daughter is super passionate about the business. I mean, this 12-year-old, I've never seen more passion from this little girl. She is all in. She wants to homeschool. All she wants to do is hone her skills. For a 12-year-old, like, I don't know about you girls. I was not thinking about what I wanted to do at 12. I don't even know what I was doing, but it had nothing to do with my future.
Yeah.
This girl, she just shines bright, and she's a triple threat. She does theater, she's a singer, she's a dancer. I mean, she's just very talented. So her mom reached out to me, and we ended up getting her into my movie. She plays the boat daughter. And I just coached her on an audition that she had last week. I hooked her up with my agency in Chicago, and I said, this girl's amazing. You need to sign her. They did. So I'm just excited to kind of help her and push her and watch and see what she does, because that's really just rewarding, especially for someone who just at that age is so into wanting, it's all she wants to do. How
That's
cool.
such a cool story.
Yeah.
It reminds me when we did our podcast with you, you talked about your mentor out in LA who on the weekends, didn't he have, I don't know what you call them, weekend seminars, but you would go there
Oh, the
and
stunt
practice your stunts.
workshop. Yes.
Yeah, the stunt workshop. And it reminds me of like paying it forward. Like he helped you, you're helping her. Like the idea you talked about maybe doing some kind of weekend class here in Michigan. Like it's all like supporting each other. And it's
Yeah.
such a cool story. Like that's how it happens.
I love that you remember that. That's a really good memory. So yeah, when I lived in LA, I got invited to this. I mean, his name's Bob Yurkis. He used to double like John Wayne. I mean, this guy's like a legend in the stunt world. And his backyard's like an adult circus. He has a trapeze because he was a circus performer. He worked for the Ringley Brothers. Amazing talent. And he opened up his backyard. We just called it like Bob's backyard, and it was by invite only, and it was just a stunt training. We did stage combat, we did high falls. He had a 60-foot high fall ladder into a huge airbags. We practiced all of our high falls, trampolines. We did acting stuff. And so yeah, I look at that going, that's what opened the door for me. I learned everything. So if I could do something like that here, I just don't know if there would be any interest, right? Like but I guess you won't know until you put it out
I
there.
think for sure there'd be interest. I mean, it just sounds fun.
Ian's interested.
I want to
Would
do
you
it.
come?
I would
We'll
break
throw
a
you
thousand
off
bones
some
to show you.
buildings.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
I think there would be interest. I think
For
there would be.
sure.
Yes.
Not all 48-year-olds, but a lot of younger people would be interested too.
Or even,
Yeah.
you know what, like contacting the high schools, Clarkston High School, like the
Yes.
theater departments.
Yes.
That could be something.
Does your daughter do gymnastics anywhere?
Yes, she is at Stars and Stripes.
Yes, I was going to say Stars and Stripes, but I don't want to throw out a name if you're working with somebody else. But I would think talk to them. My gosh, they put on so many different awesome community programs.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're always willing to try new things.
So
So that could be a great thing.
Cassie Davis, one of the owners, she's a friend of mine,
Okay.
and our sons are like besties. They did the talent show together.
Well, there
They're
you go.
rapping Eminem together. So Cassie and I are tight. And I told her, I said, after my life kind of slows down a little bit, maybe we could collaborate and do some type of weekend thing with her platform. And she was like, absolutely.
Yeah.
She said she has these Ninja Warrior type of programs, and a lot of people think that it's stunts. And she's like, so it's really not. But I said, well, let's do a stunt portion of it. Like I'd be happy to come in and we'll do some punches and reactions
Gosh,
and
my
tumbles.
son
And
just walked into the kitchen. Jackson, didn't you do Ninja Warrior
And he's
camp?
like, yes.
Yes. I mean, he's
Do
15
you love it?
now. Yeah, when he was pretty young, he did do Ninja Warrior Camp, and it was cool.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. I love it. Let's make that happen.
Yes.
We've said it here today. It's going
And
to
it's
happen.
Awesome.
live, so there's a lot of witnesses.
Yes.
So
Right. I'm so excited to go to the MJR premiere. I gotta tell you, like the first one was like just a little nibble of like a little taste of what it's gonna be in the final like finished product. So I'm super excited.
And for sure,
I
if
am
you're
too, but I'm
interested-
not gonna lie, I am a little nervous because, you know, it is an independent film, so it's not. I don't have a $50 million budget, right? So I'm like, I was talking to my team. I go, we have to screen it a couple days before because if there's any major like issues. But I do want to point out to people like this is still low budget, but what we put together with the budget, I am so proud of. And I show some of my friends in Hollywood, like some stunt coordinators that have been in the business 30 years, and they go, what was the budget on this?
Yeah.
They
Sarah,
can't
I would not
believe.
say this if it was not true, but like Ann and I saw before it was finished, you know, your soft premiere. It was great. It was very good.
And that was
Yeah.
I
so
don't.
rough, you guys. That was so bad.
It was still good though.
There were hiccups, but it wasn't the film. You know, it was whatever. It's good, and I don't think I'd question yourself or like worry about it. I think it's going to be super well received. It was really great.
I think we
So,
all question ourselves, though, right? I think it's a natural thing to
well,
be like, because you're putting yourself out there,
I
and it's like
feel like I walk out of real Hollywood full budget films disappointed frequently. I do not walk out of your film feeling like that. I felt like you did a lot for an independent film. This was a good film. So,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot because you know when you do put yourself out there, you're always going to get some haters, but most of it is very positive, and I am very proud of this project. Like everyone came out, like all the local stunt guys came out, like, what do you need? It wasn't even there was no hesitation, and I would do the same for them, and I think they know that. Like
yeah.
when you put your mind into a little, you know, your heart into a passion project, like I will help anyone. What do you need from me? You want me to schlep pads? You want me to be in it? What do you need? I don't even, you want me to hold this light? Okay, great.
Yeah. I feel like this whole morning has all been about all positive, like positivity, putting yourself out there, like the ladies we spoke with earlier, about connecting, about local.
Yeah.
Like it's just been such a great positive morning, and I just feel like
That's a good thing.
yeah, I feel like it's a great way to start this kind of awkward, weird, powerless day.
Yeah.
I know my kids have no school, and I'm like,
Right?
even if I had internet, there's no way they would be like, oh, I could not even focus.
Oh.
The distraction.
Oh yeah.
So I was
Well,
like,
Jackson's over here making a protein shake. And I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't start the blender before we finish. But so anybody that's interested definitely should go buy a ticket. We did just put a giveaway in our app. So the Connecting Clarkston app. If you've downloaded that, you can go to the giveaway section, enter for a chance to win 2 tickets. But because there are only 100 tickets available, if you want to go buy the tickets now. Do not wait to win the giveaway.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because the thing is, if it does hit 100, I really don't think I can sell anymore.
Yeah.
They don't allow standing room. Just
I should ask them, but I think it's a fire code, a safety situation. So, and then one more thing that I forgot to add is we are going to have some like fun giveaways. I'm still working on a little bit more, but we'll have like some, you know, basket giveaways. I don't know how I'm going to give them yet. Maybe raffle tickets or something. So, hopefully you can leave with a little prize as well.
aw. Is there this is such an MJR question, but you know the clap when you is that going to be part of your premiere?
I don't know. I should ask. It better be.
It has to be. Yeah, it's more fun at MJR. I mean, it's all part of the experience.
Never thought about that. I will ask Matt because he's been amazing. So I'll be like, you need to do that.
You gotta do it. Matt, are you listening? This is happening. Well,
I'm going water skiing right now, so that's what I'm gonna do right now.
Absolutely.
What are you girls doing the rest of the day?
Have fun. Trying to get our power back. That's for me. Get this power. I'm like, okay, let's get this together.
I'm not sure what the plan is yet today.
Let's make sure our food isn't all rotten in the fridge, that kind of thing.
Are all the schools closed in Clarkston?
All of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I know, right?
Crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
All the moms are like, no.
Oh, like, oh my gosh, we got one full day. What?
Yeah, it's like the second day. Are you kidding me? Oh my
The kids
gosh.
were tired. They needed a break. Just kidding.
Good
Tell
Lord.
us one more time how people can get tickets.
So
Where do they go?
You can go to my Instagram, which is at Sarah Holden Stunts, and there is a link. I believe the company's called Zeffy. So again, you can't walk in to buy tickets. You have to buy them ahead of time online. That way, we know how many tickets we have actually sold. So I'm not turning people away like on the day of. So again, at Sarah Holden Stunts, and you just follow the link. It's really simple. This is a nonprofit. I should have said this earlier. This is a nonprofit. All the proceeds are going to our film festival submissions, which I've realized are very costly. I didn't even know. Like when you start trying to get into like Sundance and these bigger ones, it's expensive. And there's hundreds and hundreds of festivals out there. So it really adds up. So we thought, you know what, let's do one more last push, little fundraiser at a theater. We'll show it. So I thought it was a great idea from my team. And so that's how we're doing it.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, good luck. We will see you
Oh,
there.
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah. Thank you for popping on with us
yes.
this
Of
morning.
course.
in your
Always
car.
good to see you girls.
Yes,
Good to see you too. Thanks, Sarah.
See
Take
ya.
care.
See you later.
All right. Bye bye.